Yo, man. Yo, there's water in the booth. It's putting out the fire. Kanser interlock Jedi Knights.
And yo, don't ever let anybody put you down for using your brain, yo. Came to save the day.
Came to save the day.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Southside.
The radio's robbing the youth. We came to save the day.
Came to save the day.
This party sucks.
Lame. Came to save the day.
We came to save the day.
You know, we've been around forever. That's pretty much our motto.
We've been together forever, been together forever, been.
So Kanser was just kind of the crew of kids I rapped with when I was in high school. You know, we're going to school while other kids who rap have like karaoke machines or something. We're going straight to high school with our own beats. Weak little scratches that we put on the tracks. We didn't even know how to cut on tempo. We played like a high school talent show or something. I graduated high school, we linked up with Unikiss, and then kind of most of the other kids in the crew just faded out. They had other things going on. They were playing basketball or trying to go to college or this or that. Me and Unikiss and Mesh were like, let's just keep the name Kanser because we had got the name out there like a little bit. So we started doing a lot of local shows.
The flow man like Conan or Genghis, so I conquer any higher tyrant. I'm right on every block in your city, just like a fire hydrant with the autograph spit out the nozzle.
We made our first tape. It was called Now. It was a bunch of tracks that we had recorded at Ants, probably the best of the stuff we had, which was only like 10 songs or something.
Somebody gotta turn this up or something, man. Fast flow formulating, rhymes generating, mind crazy swift, pulls I'm elevating. I run into the spot where shit's crazy hot. I got more than them chicks got cocks in their mouth with no time that rip shit.
We didn't even get it duplicated. We made a original master on a cassette tape, and then we bought 200 blank CDs and stickers and dubbed it on like a, you know, those dual tape decks they used to dub with high speed, like boom, boom. It'd take like, if we had a show and we had to make you know, 15, 20 tapes to bring to the show, it would take us like 5 hours before the show would start. We'd have to start dubbing tapes, you know what I'm saying, at high speed. And we didn't even have no artwork printed on the actual cassette. We'd tag them all ourselves with a white sheet of paper, and then we'd go to Kinko's and make the little cutouts.
We sold a couple of hundreds of those, you know what I'm saying? By doing these little coffee shop. That was like the thing back then, like coffee shop shows.
I didn't think people would buy them, and I remember the first show that we had a tape, we made 20. It was at the Riverside Cafe, a little all-ages spot on the West Bank that isn't around anymore. But we had some of our first shows there. Wow, it was like right after we got off stage, we sold all 20 tapes. And, and I was like, we sold them for $6 a piece. And then, you know, it probably took us a few months to sell our first 200. And then we as Kanser would throw house parties. We would have a show, like some all-age show or some cafe where we barely knew what we were doing. Bow. Afterwards, we'd have kegs at the crib, 40s in the fridge, girls, rap music, Southside events, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where, and that's when we first started slanging tapes, and that's where a lot of things set off for us. Because in a way of looking at, I mean, live shows and recordings and everything, in a way, man, to me, hip hop is from the house parties, at least in my view of it.
A lot of cool things happen around that time. Atmosphere drop, Overcast, you know what I'm saying? We opened at the main room, First Avenue. That was a good look, you know, like to be at First Ave rocking in front of like mad people. People received us pretty good, you know. I probably had a lot to do with Ant dropping beats, you know what I'm saying? Like That helped us out a lot. So a year or two after that, we kind of got into with some people, like other kids that were doing their thing, and we formed this crew called Interlock, you know, just to have like a foundation. You know, a lot of cats like Odd Jobs jumped in and tried D, High Respects. You know, just a lot of people you're hearing about nowadays, you know. They're like the foundation, and we put out an album called Network, the Purple Tape, as some people call it. Nothing to do with Prince, it just happened to be purple. But that was more like Network. The whole concept of it was like, we're gonna do songs with a bunch of people. We had a few of our own, but you know, a lot of collabos.
We had to get 200 made, and a month later we had to get another 200 made, and we're talking low numbers. We're talking like selling like maybe a little less than 1,000 in a year, or 2 years, 2 stacks. But in the scheme of things, like at the time I'm like 19, 20, Unikis is like 22. And the scene is so much smaller here that like having like 1,000 tapes on the street in Minneapolis felt like we were famous, you know what I'm saying? Like it was kind of a real warped sense of reality. We started throwing these Sunday night all-age shows at this cafe called Bon Appetit in Dinkytown. This was around 98, probably the middle of 98 or something. The cat was foreign, so he just, you know, wasn't up on all the laws. He was serving alcohol to anybody. It was like all ages from 9 to midnight every Sunday night, and it was basically like a giant house party. And the word spread, man. It was like South Side, North Side, St. Paul, everywhere. Suburb kids cracking. 200 people crammed in this little cafe every Sunday night watching local rappers. Those were some good times back then, you know what I'm saying? Man, at the time, looking back, we only charged like $2 to get in the show. So after we pay out the groups, sometimes nights I'd walk with like $50, $40 or whatever. But like, the money didn't even matter as much back then. The money was just there. Those times were just fun times, man. They were authentic, I guess. They were before we ever had to worry about politics in the local hip hop scene, and that got shut down in 1999. It ran about a year, and then the Dinkytown Association shut it down. They didn't really understand, because Dinkytown is the kind of the little city campus that's on the U of M campus to cater to the kids that are coming in for the University of Minnesota. And I guess, you know what I'm saying, from their skewed perspective, they didn't understand why all these inner city kids were bow on the corner and on the street every Sunday. There weren't ever many fights or nothing, but like I remember cops driving by, kind of looking sideways, like, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Kids are all different races, all different ages, and it was all cooling, ciphering on the corners, out in the street, everything. When that got shut down, that really crushed me at the time that it got shut down. And we kind of had to take it from there. We put out some CDs, started touring, and we started seeing the grind of touring. When you're trying to go out on the road and make a name for yourself, when you're not famous, you don't have any radio play.
We've been around the Twin Cities for a long time. I bet most of y'all have heard of us. I know it's New Year's Eve and everything, but 2 days ago, the Nomad, the club on the West Bank, booked us to play Friday night, New Year's Friday night. We packed the place, we did our thing, we rocked, and because of a loophole in the contract, we didn't get paid.
It's like we'd get in other cities, and we'd be happy to be in front of like 30 people and do our best to smash it, sell some CDs, and be able to come back. The Warp Tour that goes through the States every summer, 2003, they had a hip-hop stage called the Code of the Cuts. They'd have us perform at like 3 p.m., 4 p.m. We'd perform to a gang of kids that were just walking by the tent, sell hella CDs, leave by 5, drive to the next city, jump in a hotel, sleep for as many hours as we could, and then jump out and do it again. And we learned a lot. Not only did we learn a lot, we got hella plugs that summer. We got hella plugs, just going through new cities and then meeting people. Then all of a sudden it was like after the Warped Tour, we could tour the Northwest because we had all these plugs out there and we had sold a gang of CDs out there. And then the third cat that was with us, Mesh, things kind of got real for him. He had a couple of shorties. His political views started to change a little bit from maybe what ours are, you know what I'm saying? So he kind of took off. He didn't leave on any bad terms whatsoever. Me, Unicus, and Eric were like, all right, man, let's go to work. And I feel like we took what we were trying to do to a next level. Not necessarily to a next level, but a little step beyond. We had been around and together for like 8 to 10 years. And we just started to understand things more, started to understand how to work with different sound systems, how to understand how to work with different crowds, how to manage our money better, how to make more money at home, how to make more money on the road, how to sell more product, how to perform better.
We're kind of doing something that's not that smart, because we had to lie that we weren't coming here to do a show, and we've got copies of the posters that say Kanser performing for Minneapolis, performing tonight, last night. But
Let's burn them.
That shit looks fresh on my wall, so I gotta...
Let's burn the posters.
If they start touching the car, you just gonna eat the posters.
I love going on the road. That's one thing like.
See, my name is Zachariah, and I'll be piling new tires on. We need some winter tires or some chains or maybe some super sunshine from the snow it came. Down from the sky, a cumulus clouds or a cumulus, I can't pronounce that right. With the sound on the mic through the speaker in my sneakers of the 90s, the sweatshop sneakers from the 90s now. I got the flow off the head and I shed skin, give you a dab with my left and I'm fresh. Just like Alzheimer's, false rhymers getting way up, slow, everybody stand still. Chill like frost, man, I mean, when there's no money, I mean, what you make, she's looking so yummy.
All I know is I'm sitting shoddy.
No, whoever's sitting shotty's keeping Zach awake so he don't die.
And nobody here is gonna be able to stay awake. Unicus will be out before anybody.
Shut up! You don't know nothing about me.
Unicus will be.
No, hey,
you don't know my life.
Sit down.
You don't know when I go to bed, homie.
This dude will be snoring so hard. Like 20 seconds.
I heard other people snoring last night, so whatever.
Yeah,
that was not me.
That was
I can hear them. How is that me?
Going on the road is the joint, you know what I'm saying? You get to rock to people that's never seen you before. They never, you know, some of them have heard of you, whatever, but you're just making new, you know, you're making friends basically, you know? You're making friends, fans, whatever they want to call themselves. And like, just like all the fun stuff that come with being somewhere you've never been before, you know what I'm saying? We've experienced a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool people. You know what I'm saying?
Documentary, right?
This is a rockumentary.
Power to my boys.
It's a
My
rockumentary.
favorite Minnesotans.
It's a rockumentary.
Getting in front of an audience, you know, my mic in my hand, the sound is good. I'm ready to rock, man. Like,
Your mind capacity is capable of anything. Infinite ideas are infinite. Man, the innocent images, imagination, did every demon that distracted day. But when I wake up, it's time to get my live on. Jump out of bed like today is the jump off. Out there, outer space oasis. I'm cool and not girl, I take you to the depth places. We don't play it, hey, we radiate the God-given glow. Glow is God-given, but I'm living behold. Believe beyond that, hey, I'm Zach, nice to meet you. I'm from a tribe called the Southside Peoples, and we shine like solar. Toki right, he shine like solar. Kids the truth, we shine like solar. She worth having, homeboy, you better hold her.
DJ Elusive? Oh yeah. He's my DJ. Elusive's always getting into fights. Have you seen the boys grill? Are you talking to me?
Something you
gotta bite that shit. Are you talking to me? Respect. Are you talking to me?
No.
Dude.
We were always messing with different bands and stuff, but these kids we linked up with like 3 years ago, they're called More Than Lights. We had a few practices. It kind of re-sparked something in us, I feel. It kind of reminded us of like just the love for doing it kind of woke us up in some degree.
I don't relate to most rap on the radio. See, some are dope, but they dumbing it down, dumbing it like playground punishment. Turn off the stereo now, cause right now I can't stomach it. They say this rap game's $1 billion business. To get money, mind, genocide, spread sickness. I hold skill, rap with a reason, and still practice the ancient art of MC. I've been blessed how you mean a success when I said more than sentence than they said in their set. Never give kids candy or cater to a crowd that bow before beliefs that we did not. See what the meek will inherit, I will speak like a para. Key boy, I stare in the grill and won't run. If you see me at a show, you'll catch me on the same streets. I'll sing about my songs, man. At 19, we sold 1,000 4-track tapes. Straight out of backpack and local shows on stage. By 27, we were Minnesota legends and we never quit repping. I come stepping with the edits like you don't. Well, stop singing them songs until we don't. Well, stop singing them songs until we don't. Well, stop singing them songs, man. We need the sun to shine.
I got another group up, kind of a project I mess with called Traditional Methods. It's a project that was set up by me and the bass player from High Respects, Twinkie Jiggles. Some live music with some these real good MCs that I kind of grew up with, named Shiz and this girl named Sarah White. Sarah White's talent is kind of out of this universe. She can sing and rap, and basically any song that I ever have her do it on, she just makes my stuff sound better than it did before she was on the track. What our bread and butter is we throw these like underground, hip-hop, rave, warehouse parties. Kind of in a way, man, what I almost think hip-hop can be, how I define it sometimes. It can be defined a lot of different ways, but at 2:30 in the morning, when you got hundreds of kids in a warehouse dancing, and the DJ's dropping records, and the DJ drops like Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, and everybody reacts to it. Kind of like, in my view, man, that's kind of like what hip hop is, and it's just, man, all these people, man, I look at them, man, they gotta get up and go to work and on Monday, and they got 9 to 5s, and they're going to college, and they're stressed out, and if they can come to our parties or our shows and kind of release some of that stress and get that off, I think that's kind of our purpose or something.
We've grown, you know what I'm saying? We've grown in doing what we're doing. Cause like we had to learn a lot of stuff, you know.
Even though we've been around forever, we're still trying to get better. We're still trying to make better music, become better MCs, do better performances, entertain people better.
Kanser was so uncomplicated. It's like I could talk for hours, but I'll probably be doing circles. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot to us, but it's pretty much what you see is what you get. So there's no hidden. I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? People got things in their lives, but there's no super crazy story that, man, what happened that? No, man, we just underground rappers, man, just doing our thing. I don't want people to know, like, you know, from 95 to 2006, you know, like, the name Kanser, you know what I'm saying, it's been around the country. I believe it's been around overseas, you know, so like, I feel privileged that, you know, what I put down in a recording booth, you know what I'm saying, somebody somewhere is like listening to our words and it's like vibing. Whatever they're doing, they driving, taking a dump, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I remember somebody telling me, like, man, I was just like on the toilet the other, like, I was like, what the heck, like, yeah, I was listening to you guys, you know, I'm like, yeah, it's weird, but I'll take it, you know, I'd rather somebody tell me that than like, I never heard of you, you know, like, that's not cool.
Damian Marley, what's up, man? Call him, motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
Yo, interlock.cc. Check it out, yo. MySpace, all that shit.
Hey, who are you talking to? That's your video camera.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Hey, let me see. Can I see the show?